Hey everyone, it's Colleen with Portugal the Place, and I wanted to come here today to just really share top of mind content about what's going on living in Portugal at the moment. There's a lot happening in the world right now. As we're all aware, there is so much going on. We've had this outbreak of conflict with the Middle East and with Iran. We have all kinds of questions and concerns about everything from climate change and weather systems to the financial state of affairs. It is a really, really insecure time. And we're getting a lot of folks that are asking the real questions about escape plans or possibly having a plan B, and Portugal being one of those places that comes to mind and people are trying to consider. It's really interesting because, my husband, my daughter, and my father at the time, we all moved to Portugal, and we did it anticipating exactly, the situation that's at hand. We started the process in 2020. The world was a very different place, but we still felt, coming off of the first administration that we'd seen with Trump, that the writing was on the wall, that things had seriously taken a turn in a direction that we didn't agree with. So we'd always wanted to live in Europe. We always had wanted to change and try a different culture and really just dive into something completely different. So we took the plunge and moved to Portugal. All these years later, we've now helped hundreds of people relocate, thousands, quite frankly, and we've been in the thick of it. In the process of living here, we've gone through losing my dad. He passed away in 2023. We've had a new dog join our family. We've had Aladdin come in and join our family. But in this process of meeting people, one theme is consistent. Folks from the United States are looking to figure out how to improve their life, to not feel like they're in danger, to actually have a quality of life. And I have to say, safety is the number one concern. You really don't know what you're carrying until it's gone. And I think the thing that I hear over and over again, and we experienced it, is about a year or so after living in Portugal, you realize you're no longer checking the exits when you're in a public space or a mall, hoping that just in case, how to get out. People move with their kids to school and they start to realize that they're breathing a little easier and relaxing because when their kids go off to school, they're not worried that that might be the last time they see them. It's just a completely different frame of mind. And also politically, Portugal's had some changes in the last years. There's been a party that's tried to rise up that has some of the Trumpism kind of far right ideology. But so far, the Portuguese people haven't bought into that, even though there are some valid concerns about the existing form of government and how to balance immigration and how to balance the cost of living and the housing crisis that's affecting people worldwide. So overall, there's a lot that's happening in Portugal that reflects the common concerns that we're seeing in the world today. But the other thing that you find in Portugal is a sense of peace, a sense of quiet, and a sense of calm. And for those of us that have been looking for a change, that's one of the biggest draws. Now, if you're thinking about moving to Portugal strictly financially, it's probably not the cheapest place for you to go. It's affordable. There are definitely components of Portugal that are much more affordable than the United States, but there's some components that are comparable. But when you get down to it, it's about quality of life. It's about safety. That safety index cannot be minimized. It is really, truly, authentically one of the most important things we think of when we're looking at relocating. And Portugal, it definitely delivers. The other thing that Portugal has that is really true is an amazing community of people, not only the Portuguese, who I have found to be some of the warmest and most welcoming people that you can meet, but the community of international immigrants that live here in Portugal are truly a variety, and the diversity is it's incredible. And that's something that has really enriched our lives, is having this opportunity. But if you're thinking about moving to Portugal or anywhere, quite frankly, if you're thinking about moving to abroad, everything will still be change. And no matter if change is positive or negative, change is difficult. And you can't minimize that. You are going to completely change everything that you know. The upheaval is real. The anxiety levels are real. And when you leave your country of birth, when you are no longer in the country where you were born, you become an immigrant. And when you're an immigrant, you have insecurity. There's just nothing you can do about that. It is part and parcel of what it takes to move abroad. And so you need to be mentally prepared for that shift in reality. Language will be a thing. Now, I'm learning the Portuguese language, and it is definitely a journey. Some people learn language better than others, and for some, it comes easier than others. For me, it's kind of middle. It's not the worst thing I've done, but it's certainly not coming just easily. But you have to be prepared for the fact that even when you try and as you're learning little bits, the more effort you make, the more you will be accepted and welcomed. The other thing to note here is that as people moving from North America, for example, like we did from the United States, we move with privilege. We move with financial privilege. We move with certain things that we have become accustomed to. And you have to really unpack that when you want to move to another country. And here in Portugal, we really do encourage folks to invest locally, to support local businesses, to think before you order things easily on Amazon. Go for something like, just ordering it with a local business instead, and putting yourself into an immersion experience and supporting the new country you call home. But if you're looking to move to Portugal, it is completely possible. It is an amazing place to live, but it's not perfect. And you have to be prepared that whenever you make a change like this, whenever you jump in and you're making a change from one lifestyle to another, you're going to encounter both positives and negatives. But for sure, it's something that I still feel today, just as much as I did in 2020, that it's been worth it. And I'm not looking back, and I wouldn't change a thing.